Juneteenth, or June 19th, is a holiday that's not well known outside Texas, but it is quintessentially an American holiday, an official day of remembrance in 45 states, and it deserves to be honored with the same enthusiasm as July 4th. July 4th is Independence Day, and it celebrates not just the moment that Britain and the United States became separate governing bodies, but the moment that that great experiment in human freedom kicked off. Our forefathers set down a seemingly impossible and unprecedented goal to establish a land ruled by a code of law that would guarantee equal rights to all, regardless of status of birth. This dream was set down on July 4th, 1776. And it wasn't until June 19th, 1865, that that dream was realized. And so it is called by some Freedom Day or Emancipation Day, the day the promise was fulfilled, a fitting corollary to the promise of Independence Day. Juneteenth marks the anniversary of the day that the slaves in Texas, the most far-flung state of the Union at the time, learned of their freedom. While the Emancipation Proclamation was issued by President Abraham Lincoln on September 22, 1862, the Civil War continued to rage for several years, making the decree unenforceable. It wasn't until May of 1865 that the people of Texas learned of Robert E. Lee's surrender. On June 18th, Union Army General Gordon Granger landed at Galveston Island, and from the balcony of the Ashton Villa, read General Order No. 3, announcing the total emancipation of the slaves.
The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation of the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and of rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor.
The formerly enslaved of Galveston rejoiced in the streets, and the celebrations quickly spread throughout the state. The next year, the first annual Juneteenth celebration was organized by freedmen of Texas, and the anniversary has been marked ever since with parades, barbecues, and festivals in cities across Texas and throughout the United States. Slavery was the great contradiction at the heart of the United States, a contradiction that could not be reconciled with the sacred tenets of her foundation. And yet the resolution of the contradiction was demanded by our founding documents. The chart to emancipation was set down in the Constitution. Or rather, that ultimate goal was established, an ideal objective set on the horizon like a brightly burning star by which our ancestors fixed their navigation, a jewel sought through stormy seas. Obviously, the Emancipation Proclamation did not instantly bring about the racial equality it promised. Like the founding documents, it was only a proclamation, a new reality for the country to grapple with. For the slaves who were supposedly free, abuse, oppression, and inequality of law continued to exist long after, lingering echoes with effects that are still being felt today. And so it's right that the celebration of Freedom Day be a celebration of the African American people, and of the priceless contribution they make to the fabric of America, to the culture that dominates the globe. It's a testament to the trials they've endured as their nation struggles to uphold the principles it espouses. It should be a day for people of all races to celebrate the freedom of African Americans, to remember the day 155 years ago your countrymen were freed from unjust bondage, to celebrate the ideals that represents, the richness such a blessing has bestowed, and to remember the promise that proclamation aimed to fill. The promise laid out by the Founding Fathers in the summer of 1776.
We can't extend this free shipping sale much longer with our best-selling items at InfoWarsStore.com. In fact, we can only run it a few more days. We're also running out of some of our best-selling items like our amazing nootropic Rainforce. It's $19.95. Leading competitors are $60 and aren't even as good. It's a great deal normally at $39.95. Rainforce, you've never tried it. This is a great opportunity. $19.95. Also, Alpha Power is 50% off. If you don't know what it's done for me and so many others for stamina, focus, libido, it does so many things. X2, even though we're having trouble sourcing the deep earth crystals of the good halogen iodine, I am blowing out the stockpile of it we have, at least for another few days, at 50% off. And then after that, it's going to go back to full price until we secure more of it. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. And thank you all for helping fund the Second American Global Revolution.